I love to go to Lowe's is because any job that you have, if you don't have the right tools for the job, it makes it 10 times harder to do that job. Now, when I go into Lowe's, I have all the tools that I would ever need at my fingertips, which gives me power to do any job. So it is empowering to go to a place and buy a tool for a specific job. Bird's nest that I found on the ground as I was clearing. There's nothing in it, so I'm sure it was an old nest, but I thought I'd share it with you. Cool little bird's nest. Tell you, this is definitely hard work. Alright, so this is about all I'm gonna get done today. I've cleared away the brush on the right hand side, and I still have quite a bit left to do on the left. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today, and we'll continue this another day. It's Tuesday evening. I just got back from work, and I'm gonna do a little bit here. You can see my wheelbarrow here. It's full of water because I didn't put it away. So I've got to dump it, and then I'm gonna look and see what else I've got to do in this flower bed. All right, well, come along with me. So there's a mess of briars inside this bush. I'm trying to get it free the bush without killing it, and maybe use that bush later on to decorate my front flower bed. I'm not sure yet. Try it. And this may be a situation where I just have to kind of clip the top growth here just to get it out of the way, so I can figure out which pieces are still hanging on. I've got to do it quickly. Okay, it's time to get this day started. It's Saturday. I went all week working, thinking about what I'm gonna do, and this weekend to try to work on this project. And finally, the weekend is here. It is 7 a.m. I've been up all night thinking about, oh my gosh, what if this lumber is terribly bad? It has been raining a lot. This lumber is wet, and I'm getting ready to uncover it. I better get my gloves on and we'll get started. I'm just gonna get a trash bag for this trash now and get this cleaned up so that I can have a workspace. Okay, I got my trash bag, and by the way, while I was in there, I started my coffee. I can't go without my coffee in the morning. So, it has been raining all week, and the boards are wet, and it's kind of exposing some of their weak places, and they're breaking here. Ooh, the sun's already hot. So some of them are breaking, but I still may be able to use part of that board as a 4-footer. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start cutting these boards. I'm going to let them lay out in the sun for a little bit and see which parts of them I can use, if any. If they're too soft, I won't use them, but hopefully I'll be able to use some of these. So you can see that I've uncovered the top layer here, and what's underneath is quite a lot of leaves. If you clear away the leaves, there should be some good boards under there, I hope. Anyway, process is started. Here we go. Okay, so as we work, we get ideas, right? So this is part of the creative process in any project. So with this lumber, I have a lot of rot. Like the ends of the boards are rotted, and I might not be able to use longer pieces. So I'm gonna cut down what I can't use and find the best parts of the board so that I have the best parts of my lumber. I know that I've got some good lumber in that stack. I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna dig it out, but there's also some rot I've gotta deal with. Okay, so as we go deeper and deeper into this wood pile, we're seeing more and more where it's weak and rotted. So, you know, as we press on this wood and bend it, I'm seeing a lot of weakness in this wood, and I'm getting ready to build these magnificent raised beds. And as I think about using this wood, I know that this is not going to last. Unfortunately, this is not going to be something we can use for the raised beds. We were discussing, my husband and I were discussing some options, and we do have some treated lumber that we purchased in order to fix our porch, but it's been sitting under our covered porch. For now, I'm going to build one raised bed, see where I want it. It's going to be a 4x8 because I have strong treated lumber to use. And anyway, we'll see how it goes. I have got some of my wood cut for 2 raised beds here, and I have churned them because I have been thinking about where I want my compost pile, and I believe I want it to be back here along the back of the garage. We've decided, because of all of the rough lumber, how bad a shape it is in, that we're probably going to use that for the compost bin, and the treated lumber that we already have on hand that we had bought a couple of years ago to help fix our porch that we didn't use. It's left over from that project, and we'll probably have to buy new lumber for that project anyway, and it's kind of on hold. So it's already on hand, it's ready, and it's actually treated lumber. If you want to do some research online and look it up, it's pretty safe to use the treated lumber now that you can get at the big box store. However, if you are concerned about using treated lumber, you can always line it. Good morning, it's Sunday. The next day, I have 3 layers of my 4-layer first garden bed done, and I'm getting ready to put the 4th layer on. I'm finishing up screwing the last of the 3 layers. So I've got quite a bit done on it since yesterday. I got my husband to help me figure out some of the details on how to do this more easily for the next bed, so I'll be able to show you a little bit easier method than I used the first time on the next bed. So I'm building at least 2 beds today, finishing this one and building 1 more. If I can get to the 3rd one this afternoon, I will. So that's the plan today. You can see I'm sweating. These glasses really make you sweat. But they're really important because I don't know if you can see, but there's places where the chipped wood has hit the glasses and protected my face. So it's important to have glasses. Now, this bed is finished. It was a challenge. I couldn't figure out what I was doing. I built each layer by itself. The first two layers I built by themselves, and then I had to figure out how to get the 2x4s attached to the corners, and it was way too hard. So this time, for the second bed and the third, I have a different method planned. So I'm in the shade, first of all. Hopefully I'll stay in the shade a little bit longer. I'm going to build each wall, and then I'm going to stand them up and put the end caps on them. So I've got to leave enough room on each end to put the 2x6s on the end caps. But I'm going to go ahead and line these up with these 2x4s and get these walls built so I don't have to switch between bits all the time. This would be a lot easier for one person to handle it. So I'm going to do 4 of these, and then I'm going to throw the last 2 beds together. Okay, so I've got all my pieces cut, and I've got 4 walls made, and I'm getting ready to put the end caps on there. So you guys seen how I went ahead and made the 4 walls of the 2 remaining beds, and I'm gonna go ahead and put those end caps on now. So, if you can see him, there's a little inchworm on there. They call him an inchworm because he goes about an inch. He's the same color as that wood. He doesn't know where he wants to go. There he goes. There he goes. Anyway, we're gonna leave him alone. Let him be. You don't mind me drilling, do you? Alright. There he goes. Just finding his way. Finding his little way. Sweet little inchworm. Just thought I'd share that with you guys. Inchworms. They're very rare. I don't see them ever. And, you know, learning about little inchworms when I was a kid. One of my favorite little worms. Anyway. Okay, I've got 3 raised beds here. They are 24 inches high. They look a lot higher than 24 inches. You'd think they were 3 feet deep, but they are just 24 inches high, and you could grow just about anything you wanted in them. Next, I'm going to put some support bars in the middle to make sure that they don't bow out and fill them up. Okay, it's Saturday morning, and I've spent the week trying to prepare the beds. I've got the hardware cloth in the bottom, and I'm starting to fill up the beds with some of the rotten lumber that I found in that rough lumber pile. So I'm not going to cover the whole bottom because I do want the worms to come through. But on top of the carbons, I'm going to probably put some sawdust in here. A lot more lumber to roughly cover the bottom, and some sawdust, and then some nitrogen. I've got some food scraps that I've already started collecting for this. So and there's just a few little, like a tree limb and some other carbons and nitrogens that I've started putting in here. So this will be a cold composting process that will happen in the beds during the fall and into the winter. All right, so we've got about, I'd say about 10 inches of wood and material that's already been composting in the bottom of that pile. So that wood was very rotten, obviously, as you can see, and we were able to really use all of the good microbes and things that were in this wood for the bottom of our beds here. It's really going to be a good start to our soil. It's called Hugelkulture. When you use the woody materials in the bottom of your bed, and what it does is it creates a composting environment for many years. So for several years, this is going to be composting down underneath my soil and feeding nutrients into the soil. So it will really help the soil it'll also keep moisture in the soil, because that wood will absorb that moisture and hold it instead of it draining out of the soil. That was all in a day's work. I'm still kind of finishing up. I'll show you what the wood pile looks like now. There's a few pieces of wood there that I kept out that might be good. But here's our wood pile. It is all but gone. We have scraped the surface of the driveway here to get all the good composting material. It looks like we have a little bit left, and there's a little pile of trash there. We've got our trash can ready. I'm going to pick that up and try to get as much of this good composted dirt as I can out of this area and into my garden beds. Okay, so this half of the bed I'm still going to compost in, but I have got me some potting mix for this half of the bed, and I've got a divider here, just a board and some cardboard to keep it in. I put cardboard underneath the soil here, this soil is about 6 or 8 inches deep now. I've got about 6 bags, 1.5 cubic feet each bag of soil in here, and 5 rows of veggies. Now it is beginning of August, so I had to think about fall veggies. I've got some onions and some carrots, some radishes, and I've got some arugula and some spinach. So I've got about 5 rows of veggies here. These carrots are short and sweet carrots, so they shouldn't need too deep a soil. So you can see I'm only using half of the bed, and my bed's not even full. I was just really eager to get into some crops this fall and just reap some rewards of all of my labor and tend these. And really, spinach and arugula are do much better in the fall. So do carrots. I've heard that carrots, if you grow them in the summertime, they spend all their energy trying to produce greens and no energy producing the root because of the heat and the sun. But as the weather cools down, the carrots should do better in the cooler weather as far as creating that root vegetable that we know and love. And onions should help with pests, but where we're getting into fall, pests are going to be less of a problem. For now, we've got some fun radishes because they're fast, and I've heard that they're great for roasting. I don't really like raw radishes, but radishes are fun, and for my son, they'll show up fast and we'll reap the rewards quickly for them. And then also the spinach and arugula do really well in the fall. Alright, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following me on this journey. I'm excited to see how the little fall 4x4 garden will do, and I'll be posting an update soon for that. So that's where we're at on these raised garden beds. Fantastic. Please stay tuned for some more on fixing the house and some other things we've got going on as the weather gets cooler. I've got a nice cranberry chutney recipe that I'd like to share with you. So stay tuned for that this Thanksgiving season. All right, thank you so much and have a good one. Bye.